Hey everybody, Stwida here, coming at you with probably, truly, even accounting for decades down the road, the last Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video that I will be making. This is not a decision I have taken lightly. You can see I am guildless. I have prepared my officers, my leader, well in advance, and I let them know, hey, I'm out of here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And if you want to know how seriously I'm taking this, I rushed PKH. I had a day one PKH. I simply look at that. Dude is fast. Okay. I mean, if you remember my last video, I haven't had a lot of love for this game in recent times in general. But to get to the point, to get to what really finally put the nail in the coffin for me, it was Relic Delta. And now if you're watching this video as soon as I release it, you might be thinking, wait, what? What do you mean it was Relic Delta? Relic Delta is not even out yet. They haven't even settled on what Relic Delta is going to look like. And that's the thing. I don't care. I don't care what they settle on. First of all, to be clear, I don't want Relic Delta in any form, right? Who am I? But that's just my opinion, right? I wouldn't want Relic Delta if it was like 5% per relic level difference. I certainly don't want it where it's 95% at a 4 relic level difference. And among other things, you know, I'm not going to pretend that I went into some super deep analysis and I thought of all the things that Relic Delta would imply, right? What I am telling you for sure is even if, you know, they pitched a second version where a 4 relic difference would result in a 50% damage increase and a 50% damage reduction, I'll tell you right now, at the very least, the meta will become every tank on every team gets Relic 9. Because that will ensure that every single team has a possibility for the tank to take a ridiculous amount of reduced damage and basically just be a timeout risk. All you need is a Relic 9 tank on every single team, and you are creating a horrible, annoying problem. Not even a fun problem, if you can imagine a fun problem. You're creating a horrible, annoying, boring, feels bad problem for your opponent, right? It's just a brick wall on every single team. And someone might say, well, what if I have Relic 9s and da-da-da-da? Who knows? You know, it's not here. We don't know for sure how it's going to roll out, but, you know, how many Relic 9s do you need? I mean, we all know typically when it's down to a one-on-one, one attacker cannot kill one super tank. You usually need like a healing debuff, a buff immunity, a shock, right? And then they can kind of chip away at the tank. But like, anyhow, I'm not going to get into all the problems with Relic Delta, but for me, Relic Delta is it represents a bigger problem. And I've made clear, you know, I basically haven't liked a single thing that CG has done since they released the Darkseid clones. I think the Darkseid clones did not lift Lord Vader the way that they should have. They did not change him meaningfully enough. And pretty much everything since then has been some form of bad for the game, in my opinion. I think the amount of effort that CG has put into the game has why can't I say that? Drastically decreased in this past year. You can see it in things like the raid, right? Very, very come on. Even the most dedicated Galaxy of Heroes fan can admit you end the raid and Lord Vader shakes his fist at you and says, "This isn't worth my time." And then he turns around and walks away. That's how the raid ends. And some of you might be like, who cares how the raid ends? It's just, to me, it's just symbolic. It literally, I actually cannot come up with a worse way for the raid to end, short of it just cutting to a black screen. Like, it actually feels like it was take your kid to work day, and they said, hey, Timmy, how do you think the raid should end? And he was like, he should shake his fist, and he should say something mean and walk away. Like, ugh. The Pirate King Hondo events, I don't know if you guys, maybe you've watched a video of his unlocks. It's literally, it's just nonsense. CG is acting like it seems like they're playing on, oh, this is a meme, right? Because in this one, you fight alongside General Kenobi, and it's a play on like, oh, Kenobi didn't defeat Grievous, Hondo did. And Kelleran Beck didn't save the Jedi at the Jedi Temple, Hondo did. And like, on one hand, it's funny, but on the other hand, this is not something that people were joking about and feeling good about. Like, when people were talking about pirates being in the raid and they were sarcastically saying like, ah, yes, remember the iconic moment when the pirates were at the Jedi Temple? Haha. That was funny, but not in a good way. It was funny like, CG, what are you doing? And it feels like they just leaned into that here. And now you might be saying, all right, Corey Stwyda, you just don't like the stylistic choices, right? You don't like that they chose to lean into the meme and make a bunch of events where it's Hondo where he actually wasn't, but just kidding, he was. They're just leaning into the meme, and you don't like that. No. You know what I see, quite honestly, and maybe this is some tinfoil hat. You know what I see? I see CG, as they have been lately, in my opinion, lazy. Every single one of these events is reused. It is a reused event. All of the assets, all of the abilities, all of the win conditions. The only difference is that Hondo is here. And on the surface, it looks like a meme. But to me, what I see is I don't know if it was orders from the higher-ups. I don't know if CG's just being lazy. I don't know if they've had department cuts. What I see is, how can we make the Hondo Galactic Legend event with as small of a budget as possible? And they said, why don't we reuse literally every single event for every single tier? I'm not exaggerating. Every single tier of this event is a copy-pasted event from another journey that you've already played. And some people might think that's funny. And maybe it is a little funny, but that's not what I get from this. I get CG being lazy, as I feel they have been lately. I've felt for a long time that they've been lazy with their testing. Can you literally remember the last time they released a character or they made a change with any meaningful patch where a Datacron wasn't bugged, a character wasn't bugged, Gar and ISC weren't dipping into the floor every time that they assisted? Like, it feels to me so disrespectful to the players, how much money this game makes and how much the player base cares about this game. We are the beta testers. We literally are the beta testers. What was it? The first era battle with pirates after Hondo came out. It said you needed a Relic 9 GL Hondo, and you couldn't do it. It not because it was hard. It literally just didn't unlock, even if you had GL Hondo at Relic 9. I had him. I couldn't do it. Other people had him. They couldn't do it. We're not even talking about complicated testing, okay? We're talking about go call the intern over and tell him to run the event once. And if they would have done that, if they would have literally just looked at the event, just tested the event once, do the unlock conditions actually unlock the event, they would have immediately gone, oh, crap, something's not working. We have a Relic 9 Hondo, and the event's not unlocking. We need to do something about this. But no. The newest, shiniest, whaliest toy, they couldn't even be bothered to click into the events section of their test realm, their test environment, if they even have a test environment, oh my god, they couldn't even be bothered to click in and just see if the event was actually unlocked. It is actually at the point, right? I mean, I'm quitting. It's actually at the point where it is pathetic to me. And I refuse to give them more money, and I refuse to be their playtesters. I refuse to be dragged through the mud when Relic Delta comes out, because it will come out in some form, whether it's as bad as it was when they first announced it or it's toned down. It will come out. It will not function as expected. It will not be balanced the way that they thought it would. And it will be awful. And it might not be awful forever, but you will be a part of them trying to tweak it and figure it out and balance it. This is all shit that they should have done beforehand. And oh, by the way, here's Relic 10, because people are already complaining about the Relic gaps between them and the whales, or them and punching up. Here's Relic 10. Literally, they say, oh, we didn't feel Relic 9 was impactful enough. Just tweak the stats. You didn't need Relic Delta. You didn't need Relic 10. Now Relic 9 is just as insignificant. It's just a gateway to Relic 10 at this point. Cool. So we thought Relic 9 wasn't impactful enough. So we're going to keep it exactly the same, but we're going to release Relic 10. Literally just change the stats for Relic 9. Instead of basically just a big chunk of health and protection, give the rest. Change it retroactively. Now all your Relic 9 characters have a big chunk of armor, a big chunk of damage, a big chunk of crit or tenacity or whatever you want to add. But this is literally all part of them trying to make money off of you, right? And skirt, I know, it's a game, right? I work in business. My career's in business. I get it. It's got to be profitable. This game has been profitable up to this point. This game is a freaking cash cow for EA, okay? They don't need to drive the mechanics of the game into the floor or flip them on their head to make the money that they want to make. It's just what they're doing today. And I'm just not interested in being along for that ride. That's it. I have loved this game for the 2.5 years that I've played it. I've spent more money on this game than probably 99% of players. And you know what? I don't regret it, because that entire time I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself exactly the way I wanted to enjoy myself, up until the past few months. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. If I wasn't spending that money on this game, I would have been spending it on whatever other hobby I might have had during this time, right? But I just don't want it anymore. I'm sick of being CG's guinea pig. I'm sick of them just randomly deciding to flip the game on its head out of nowhere. And I'm not interested. I'm not interested in spending the next 6 months watching them balance Relic Delta and try to figure it out and make, 4 Relic 10 requirements for the next GL ship that they're going to release. Ships, by the way, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on with ships? You want to talk about bad decisions, right? Now, normally I'm not the one who wants them to make a bunch of money off of people. Why does Rogue One do everything it needs to do at 3 stars? Why is Rogue One shitting on Executor at level 1, Gear 1 pilots 3 stars? Because you just decided to give its broken passive away as long as you brought it to level 85. If you wanted to make some money, you should have locked this ability like it was before behind something, behind ship stars, and then people would have a reason to wail on this. We don't even have a reason to wail on this. It's just meta-defining day 1 as long as you put it at level 85 and you get its unique up. Meta-defining. And that's another problem that I've had with CG is I feel like They're so obsessed with power creep, and they're so obsessed with convincing you that the newest toy, you must have it because it's so freaking good. And that's why every single character they release now has like 3 paragraphs in a unique, because it needs to be so good that you must get it, that you feel like you must get it on day one. Not every character needs to be meta changing or meta defining. It's okay. It's okay to have a fine character from time to time. That's okay. And maybe they just won't wail on it, but maybe they'll wail on the rest of the team. It's okay, but I'm not going to go too deep on the rest of this stuff. This is it. This is my last day. I'm not going to climb in Fleet Arena. I'm not going to climb in Squad Arena anymore. You want to screw around here? Check this out. Is this the damage immunity one? No, let's not do that. Let's try to find a fun one. Yeah, there you go. Let's do this one. This is how fun it is to play with Hondo. Now, granted, this is the Wampacron, but I think this is going to be representative of Hondo as long as you have like some high offense cron. Here you go. Turn 1. There you go. This happened the other day too. I almost always kill Slicker, but every other Slicker in my shard except for this guy's Slicker just gets killed out of the gate, and now he's dead and it's completely done, right? And I don't need to keep doing this because it's done. But yeah, who knows? I don't know. I'm not climbing anymore. I had originally told myself that I would log in and at least do the events because I've got PKH. I can, do the 7th tier of the era battle where you get 2,000 crystals for it. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm retiring with 42,000 crystals, 1,600 Chirotech. I've basically got like 1,600 of both of them. Join a guild to access this feature. You can't even look at the guild store. That's such a sad thing. I'm capped. I'm maxed out on all my guild currency. Shard shop, I'm sitting on 26,000. It's just, it's kind of a shame. It's a shame to me. I'm maxed out on my era episode track currency. Oh God, my salvage. Don't even get me started on my salvage. And why am I telling you this? I'm showing you truly how done I am. I'm so done. I'm so done that I don't care, that I literally have enough materials now to immediately farm the entire next 3 meta teams that they decide to release. I don't care. Oh my God, my signal data. I got 2,000 of these, 1,550 of these, 1,240 of these. And you know what? Hey, if you still enjoy this game, I'm happy for you. All I want is for anyone to enjoy any game that they play. But long has that time since passed for me when it comes to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, especially my Grand Arena experience. If you followed my channel, you would know that my entire thing was punching up. But that's all I enjoyed doing. I don't care about beating someone who's on equal footing as me. That's not impressive to me. It's not fun. That's just a fair fight. I like beating the accounts that I shouldn't beat. And Relic Delta is going to all but annihilate that. It's going to all but absolutely rip that to shreds. And so that's it. Quite honestly, Rise of the Empire, boring, sucks. I'm going to say it. It sucks. The CMs suck. The CMs might be representative of what Relic Delta is going to look like when there's a 4 relic gap. I mean, watching a Night Sister Initiate or whatever it is one-shot my Slicker is just the most hilarious thing that could ever happen to me. Rise of the Empire is a bummer. The raid's not that bad. I can't even show you the raid because I'm guildless. The raid could be worse, but the raid does still feel like BS. There's this weird curve of you're incentivized to get Relic 9, not because Relic 9 is actually good, but because they just put some busted modifiers for Relic 9 characters in the raid, and it makes the Relic 9 tiers relatively easy for some of the teams. I don't know. All that to say, all the other modes in this game were basically just something that gave me resources that I could invest into Grand Arena. And whatever form Relic Delta releases in, it's just going to murder it for me. So I don't care anymore. And, you know, some people might say, well, why are you quitting now? Relic Delta is not coming out for, you know, we don't even know. We don't even know when it's coming out. Why? I'm not going to sit here and wait for the end. It's like I see the meteor hurling towards Earth. I'm just going to go do something else in the meantime. And then with the news of EA getting bought out by whatever that Saudi Arabian private equity firm, I'm not going to pretend that I can tell you what that means. I've spent my entire career in the realm of business, in the realm of finance, and that can go so many different ways. Honestly, it can go so many different ways. We know what private equity typically does. It typically guts companies, tries to make them as profitable as possible, ride them into the ground, and then sell them off and be done with it. I don't necessarily get the impression that that's what would be happening here. It's just don't let anybody tell you that that's what's happening. And ironically, I'm telling you that, you know, don't get as doomsday-ish as I am here, but if you love this game, if you still enjoy this game, if you're not super concerned with punching up or beating players who are way out of your league in Grand Arena or stuff like that, like I said, if you just enjoy it, keep on going. It's fun, and there's still a big community of players who do enjoy it. I would still probably, again, this is knowing nothing really about Relic Delta from a functional perspective. Even if Relic Delta is implemented, I would still say this is the best mobile game that you could possibly play, in my opinion. I'm not super experienced in that realm, but I've played enough to know, like, oh my god, just the fact that there aren't ads at every turn. In I don't know. People say the monetization here is predatory, but I say it's nothing compared to the monetization in other games. Oh god, I'm accidentally buying things. So I don't know. I would still say it's the best mobile game you could possibly play. I just still don't like it. So, yeah. How serious am I? I'm retiring with a day one PKH. I'm retiring with countless upgrade materials. And to be quite honest, I don't even have a backup. There's not even another game that I'm playing right now. I would just literally rather sit on the floor and look out the window and, I don't know, listen to the sound of the wind than play this game. That is how burnt out and how disappointed I am in this game. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might start leaning into knives. I'm not gonna pitch my my knife YouTube channel, but I do have a second YouTube channel. I used to be really into collecting high-end pocket knives, and I got the itch, but, you know, that's probably not long-term. That's probably just while I'm looking for another hobby. I'm kind of hoping Battlefield 6 keeps me entertained. You might recall from my last video that I've got a kid on the way, and I'm sure a kid is going to, you know, take up more of my time than I can even estimate right now. So whatever. I guess that's life, but yeah. No backups. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut this camera off, upload this video, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It's Sunday at 5:30, and I don't know. The wife is napping. We've already gone out today, done some stuff. There's no other game. Maybe some brain rot on YouTube, but I won't be spending my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes energy. So, to my guild, Ghosts of Sparta, you're all wonderful. I'm staying in their Discord. They were fun. If I ever was convinced to come back to the game, I would go straight back to them. I would have never come this far had it not been for the community. And so whether that's the guild or the subreddit, the Discords, the events Discord server. It's just it's great seeing so many people come together over this game, and I'm happy for everyone who still enjoys themselves. But yeah, guys, that's it. You know, the channel might not be dead, but Schwugga is dead. If anything shows up on this channel, it'll either be an accidental knife video because I uploaded it on my wrong YouTube account, or just some other game. I don't even know. But I'm not trying to make a career out of YouTube, so this may be the last video of the channel. Who knows? But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Thank you for being along for the ride, and I will see you all. I might not see you next time. There might not be a next time. But thank you. That's it. All right. See you.